Thank you, Madam Mayor. We just got these numbers today, and it's a little bit of an eye-opener to what we're in for. And I realize all of the cuts will be painful. We were very optimistic this year with the budget. That has changed, obviously, and we all understand that, every department and every, buddy in town will be affected. I just want to, cuts to the library. I'm just going to advocate for them for just a second. It is a regional board, and funds are dispersed and sort of matched regionally as well as by the state. So local contributions affect state contributions. So I know we'll have further discussions on this, but I do want to make sure that we are looking at that in the big picture and not just as, automatic. Again, I know we'll have additional comments with the new budget as a whole, but just want to make sure everybody's looking at every cut very carefully. Councilman Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to thank staff for getting these numbers to us. I think it's critically important that the public understand what position the city is in, especially as the decisions we're going to make here in the next hour or so as regards to the business community. Mark, what you have basically proposed, even at cuts at this point, if I remember correctly reading the memo, is just over $2 million. And we're looking at, in best case scenario, a shortfall of $4 million, worst case scenario, $8 million. And I think everybody has been following. This is not just an issue this year. This is not just an issue next year. This is an issue that's going to go at least 2 or 3 years out. So I hope that as we move forward with this conversation, one of the things I'm hearing clearly talking to people is the issue of uncertainty and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it and when we're going to do it. Worst case scenario, and basically put it out there to the public. This is what we may have to do. But understand, even what has just been proposed doesn't even get us the best case scenario. And we need to understand that this is going to continue into next year's budget and probably the budget year before. Agree that we need to look at everything. It's a strange time. We need to look at everything. We need to think outside the box. But I would warn us about trying to borrow money, which is only deferring a cost in a multi-year situation that may, in the end, cause more problems than it's worth. I think we need to be upfront and honest with the public on what those cuts may involve. Have that conversation with the public, make the decisions, and move forward. But I hope we do not get too much into, well, we need to protect this, that, and the other than police and fire, obviously. Through this year into the next year and the year after that, there are things that are going to have to fall away. And that is just the reality that we're going to have to face. We need to deal with it. We need to make that available to later what we're potentially facing. So they can also start planning for what might be coming from businesses is the uncertainty. What's going to happen next? How can it? What are you going to do and how are you going to do it? We need to get that out in front on that issue with regards specifically with the budget, on what people should expect with regards to services, what they should be expecting with regards to a lot of things that we provide to them that may.
Unfortunately, every crystal ball is murky right now. It's very hard to predict when we will be. But what we do know is that this is 1/4 quarter affected, and it's $8 million. It's really scary. I do agree with Matt. We need to be realistic. We need to share what we know as we know it with our citizens, our residents, our businesses. So much of what we may be able to get an assistance is also up in the air, as we have just heard. So while it's hard to predict, we do have to use what information we have now and project what we have to do. I agree with Matt on that, absolutely. The problem is until we know exactly how long the shutdown will persist, we can't make very good projections. But with what I see, $8 million shortfall based on one, and I think we all should be properly advising everyone that the cuts are going to have to be strenuous.